Eric whirls to look at Skory and Taz, whose body has lifted slightly from the table, floating. Eric, do it! No! Eric yanks the lever. Taz backs arches as the dark matter charges into Rex. So is she still gonna have any of her powers left, or is that all going to be gone after this? Hey guys, it's Gabriella and welcome back to another scary text message story. Oh my goodness. Okay, so for all of you who have been watching me for forever, the OG watchers, you are probably shooketh at the title of this video because yes, we are finally doing the finale of Dark Matter. I don't know why I never went back and did this. I've been getting a lot of comments recently of people being like, can you please play the last Dark Matter? So here I am playing the last Dark Matter just for you guys. If you are new and you have no idea what I'm talking about, you can click the playlist right up there and go watch Dark Matter and catch up. But if you don't want to go and watch all of them and just want the cliff notes, here you go. Taz had a twin sister named Jazz who was mysteriously murdered in an accident. Shortly after, Taz found out that she had these mysterious powers called the Touch, where she could communicate with different people and could like time travel and all of these things, and found a computer that was called Sam that was like linked to some maybe government CIA thing. We don't really know. There's a man after Taz trying to kill her, but she's actually working with her best friend Eric, who admitted that he had feelings for her, but Taz didn't feel that way for Eric because she met Skory, who also has the Touch, and then Skory turned out to be a girl, but Taz was in love with Skory, and so now they're together, and then Eric's upset because he loved Taz, but now Taz still needs to figure out what the heck happened to Jazz. Simple. So let's get started. Here we are, chapter 5, let's do this. Taz, slow down! You're driving too fast! Jazz, I'll slow down when we get there. Get where, Jazz? Why won't you tell me where you're going? Wait, how is she talking to Jazz? As we just went over in the recap, Jazz is dead. You're starting to freak me out! You just have to trust me. You trust me, right, Taz? Jazz, you're my twin sister. Of course I trust you. It's just lately, you've been acting so different. It's like what? Like you have a secret you're not telling me. I thought we told each other everything. We do, but Jazz, watch out! Jazz slams on the brakes. The car comes screeching to a halt at a red light, just before a large truck barrels across the intersection in front of them. Jazz and Taz exhale at the same time. Sorry, I got distracted. Is this a dream? Because Jazz died in a car accident. Or is she like seeing the past? You're never distracted like this. Taz looks around at the deserted highway. What's wrong, Jazz? Where are we? Look, there's something I need to tell you. Jazz cranes her neck, looking around, almost like she's making sure they're not being followed. Another truck flies through the intersection. Just then, Jazz leans over to Taz and whispers something into her ear. What? I couldn't hear what you said. You will. The light turns green. Jazz starts the car, when suddenly another truck comes barreling towards them, through the red light on the other side, and crashes into their car. Taz screams as she watches the truck smash into the driver's side door, and then she jolts awake. Okay, so it was a dream. I was like, wait, what is happening? She looks around. She's not in the car anymore. It's pitch dark. She's alone. And that's when she realizes it's a dream. It was just a dream. The same dream she's been having every night for the past month. And tonight is the 1-year anniversary of her sister Jazz's death. Taz sighs and rolls over, reaching for her phone. But instead of her nightstand, Taz only feels a cold, hard floor. She isn't in her bed. Where am I? Taz jumps to her feet. She finds her phone in her pocket. She turns on the flashlight and gasps. She's definitely not in her dorm room. She's in some sort of classroom. Is she still dreaming? With colored rugs, tiny tables, and crayon drawings on the walls. Taz runs her fingers along the surface of one of the tables. Dust. She starts to panic. She reaches for her phone to text her best friend Eric, but then she stops herself. They haven't spoken in weeks. Because he loved her, but she loves Skory. Not since Taz started dating her new girlfriend Skory. She decided to text Skory instead. Wake up, please. What's wrong? It's the middle of the night. I had that nightmare again. The one about my sister, the night she died. I'm sorry, babe. Every time it's the same. She tries to tell me something right before the crash, but I can't hear what she's saying. I'm gonna come over, help you work through this. No, that's the thing. I'm not home. I think I was sleepwalking. What? It happens to me sometimes. When something weird is going on with dark matter, my power, it sort of guides me places. Taz, this is not okay. You could seriously get hurt. Please don't be worried. You're my girlfriend. It's my job to be worried. Where are you? I think I'm at some kind of school, but it looks abandoned. Like, no one's been here for years. So she literally sleptwalked to an abandoned school? Well, you couldn't have gone far. Do you see any clues, an address? Wait, I found something on the wall. Something strange. It's a drawing with stick figures. What's strange about that? At the bottom, it's signed Tasneem and Jaslyn Singh. What the frick? Skory, I recognize this drawing. I've been here before. Jazz and I went to this preschool together. What preschool? Do you remember the name? I think it was called Corvallis Institute. I remember our parents sending us here because we were gifted. Whatever that means. Corvallis Institute? That old building's on the outskirts of campus. It's covered in vines. I don't understand. Why would you sleepwalk to a place you haven't been to in years? A place no one has been to in years. I don't know. I wonder if it's connected? Connected to what? I didn't want to burden you with this. And I just sort of wanted to be alone today. It's the anniversary. The anniversary of what? My sister's death. Taz, you could have told me. I would have understood. I know what it's like to lose someone you love. I know you do. Oh yeah, because Skory lost her mom. I just wanted to go home, pretend that none of this ever happened. Pretend that Jazz was still here. I know. But whatever is going on, you need to contact Sam, which is her electronic computer that helps her through all this stuff. Now, something's happening, something big. You need to be prepared. Taz sighs audibly. You're right. Taz starts to dial Sam at the lab. But before she can, her phone rings. Who's calling? Oh, Sam is calling her. How did you know I was about to call you? Mere coincidence. I am highly advanced, but not certainly psychic. Your GPS indicates you are not in your dorm. Are you watching me? Yes, but I assure you it is for good reason. And what would that be? You are in danger, Tasneem. From who? Rex? Who is the bad guy that's after her? From yourself. I don't understand. Tonight is the anniversary of an extremely traumatic event in your life, is it not? Taz sighs again and a tear runs down her cheek. Yes, Sam. Jazz died a year ago today. Indeed. And while I do not have personal experiences in these matters, I believe you are feeling intense emotions right now, such as sadness, guilt, and anger. That's about right. Such emotions are natural. Thanks, Sam. Thanks for understanding. It is not a matter of understanding. I am trying to warn you. Warn me about what? You, Tasneem, are different from normal humans. You have the touch power beyond what anyone has ever seen. And the pain you are feeling tonight is causing a dangerous surge. A surge? Yes, the trauma is enhancing your powers, which in turn affects the dark matter around you. You are drawing dark matter to you in great amounts. That must be why I was sleepwalking. Correct. But why did I end up here at my old preschool? It is likely you were drawn to a place associated with a memory related to your trauma, and one you must revisit. What do you mean? I am in the process of uploading a new filter to your phone. This filter will allow you to access old memories based on your location. I'm not sure I want to dig around in my memories. You must try, Tasneem. Your life depends on it. What are you talking about? How am I in danger, Sam? This surge, if it continues, it could overload. Overload? Like a power surge? Precisely. And you could perish. You mean I could die because of my emotions? It is slightly more complicated than that, but yes. Your mission is to control your powers and reduce the levels of dark matter you are attracting before you self-destruct. Wow, okay. Good luck, Tasneem. Wait, Sam! Taz hears a click and the call disconnects, and Snapchat opens up on her phone. But before she can see her new filter, she hears something. A creak in the floor. Someone in there with her? Just outside the classroom door. Someone is there. Taz slips her phone back into her pocket. Her hands shaking, she tiptoes to the door. She takes a deep breath and reaches for the knob. And just then the door flies open. Taz jumps back. Taz? It's Skory, carrying a flashlight and dressed in sweats. Tired, but still beautiful. Taz runs into her arms. Skory pulls Taz into an even deeper hug. You scared the heck out of me! Sorry, I just wanted to get here as fast as I could. You didn't have to come. Yes, I did. Come on, let's get you home. I can't. There's something I have to do here first. Taz tells Skory about her conversation with Sam, and she explains the danger she's in. Kory's eyes fill with worry. Then Taz pulls her phone out and looks at the Snapchat. She has a new filter. And if you don't remember, the filters are what she uses to be able to see like the dark matter or like around her, and like they all have like different powers. At the bottom of the screen are the words flashback filter. Taz holds the filter up to a wall in the classroom and she sees the outline of an old door. Taz shows Skory her phone. What's that? I think it leads to a memory. I need to go in there. Then I'm going with you. She grabs Taz's hand. We'll go into this memory together. Taz nods and taps the door on her screen. As she does, the door from the filter forms in front of them. Whoa! You see it too? Yeah, I also have the touch, remember? Right. Gosh, this is insane. I don't know if I can do this. Of course you can. I'll be right here. Come on. Skory pulls Taz towards the memory door as it swings open. Together, they step over the threshold and into Taz's memory. Suddenly, everything around them changes. This is so spooky. The dust and the darkness lift to reveal a bright, spotless room. The cubby holes are now stuffed with colorful backpacks. Toys litter the floor. Wait, so they're going like back to when she was actually at the preschool? And there's a table in the center of the room where two little girls are sitting quietly playing with letter blocks. The teacher, a pretty young woman in glasses, is standing nearby watching and taking notes. Can they see us? I don't think so. I think we're just visitors here. Taz takes a few steps forward. Her eyes widen as she gets a closer look at the girls. Skory, that's me and Jazz. We're so young. Wow, you look exactly alike. Yeah, even our parents couldn't tell us apart. We were inseparable. We even had a secret language. Secret language? Yeah, only we would understand it. How did it work? She just said it was a secret language, okay? Skory, you don't get to know everything. We replaced words with their opposite. What do you mean? Like if Taz wrote the words downstairs, I knew she really meant upstairs. Or nice really meant mean. We used to hide things for each other in secret places. Talk about teachers, stuff like that. That's sort of genius. Taz smiles, thinking back to how Chaz came up with the language rules. The only other person who knew our secret language was Eric. He knew Jazz too? Yeah, we all grew up together. I wish I'd known her, Taz. I do too. She would have loved you. Really? Of course. You make me happy. Skory smiles. All right, let's get this over with. Taz and Skory explore the room. Taz watches her younger self stack blocks, while Skory spies on the teacher observing them. This is weird. What? Twin number 1 exhibits considerable abilities? Huh? Wait, is that what the teacher just wrote that in her notepad? Taz, she's taking notes on you and Jazz. Taz turns away from the twins and takes a closer look at the woman, and gasps as recognition dawns. Skory, I know her. That's Dr. Montgomery, the head of PSI Labs. She's the one who built the lab to research dark matter and created Sam. Holy, Sam told Dr. Montgomery had watched me since I was a kid, but Jazz too? Twin number 1 experiences a surge in abilities when influenced by twin number 2. However, twin number 2 does not appear to possess the same powers. What does that mean? Powers must mean the touch, but wham! Skory and Taz whirl around. The girls' tall stack of blocks has fallen down. Little Taz and Jazz giggle while Dr. Montgomery picks up stray blocks from the floor. Now, girls, I need you to focus. Can you do that for me? Taz and Jazz nod. Tasneem, you're a very special little girl. And Jasleen, you are too. You can help Tasneem be even more special. Do you know that? Little Jazz shakes her head. Wait, so the Dr. Montgomery knew that she had the touch, even back then? All you have to do is sit with Tasneem while she plays with the blocks. Can you do that? Little Jazz nods. Dr. Montgomery puts the letter blocks back on the table in front of Little Jazz. Little Taz focuses on the blocks. The blocks slowly rise into the air and begin to swirl around. Taz moves closer and watches as the blocks form into words. I'm spelling something. You could already spell at that age? I don't think I was doing it consciously. I was using the touch. Taz reads the words aloud as they form in the air. Blocks are boring. Dr. Montgomery laughs, and she beams at little Taz. Wonderful, Tasneem. Well done. Taz is suddenly distracted by movement. Little Jazz is arranging and then rearranging the blocks on the table. With intention and focus. Dr. Montgomery doesn't seem to notice. What's your sister spelling? Taz looks closer. It looks like a sequence of numbers. 3743. She's spelling numbers? What is happening? I'm so confused. Little Jazz looks up suddenly, directly into Taz's eyes. She smiles sadly and then looks back down at the blocks. Oh my gosh, can she see her? You saw that too? Yeah, those numbers. I think she's trying to tell us something. Just then, Taz swoons. She feels faint. She touches her head and kneels to the floor. Are you all right? Taz stands up slowly, her legs shaking. She can feel the dark matter surging around her. Let's get out of here. I jotted the numbers down on my phone. We need to figure out what they mean before it's too late. Skory nods and together the girls head for the memory door. They step through. The scene whirls. And Skory and Taz burst out of the floor, out of the memory. Back in the dark, deserted school. A shadow of its former self. A memory of the past. Taz and Skory look down at Taz's phone. I don't get it. Maybe it's some sort of code? Maybe, but what for? I don't know, it's just a jumble of numbers. Wait, I know how we can figure this out, but you're not gonna like it. Oh no, what is it? We have to find Eric. A few minutes later, Taz and Skory knock on a door. No answer. I told you this was a bad idea. No, it's not. It's in the middle of the night. He's not going to answer. You answered when I texted you. I'm your girlfriend. Well, Eric's my best friend, and he's always there for me when I need him. She pounds harder on the door. Then it swings open. A yawning Eric opens the door, dressed only in boxers. He registers Taz and Skory, and That's so rude! And slams the door in their faces without a word. See? Told you. Bad idea. Then the door bursts back open again. Eric now has on a shirt and pants. I wasn't expecting company at 3 a.m. Cute boxers. Eric's eyes narrow at Skory as red flushes his cheeks. Guys, stop, please. Eric, we're here because I need you. You do? Yes. She shows him the number sequence on her phone. Do these numbers mean anything to you? Where are they from? A memory. Okay. So little Jazz could see Taz back then, or did they actually go back in time and she thought it was a memory? I'm so confused how this is working. Eric takes her phone and heads over to his computer. Taz and Skory wait awkwardly at the door. You can come in, I guess. Taz, you basically live here anyway. You do? I used to come over a lot. Before you. Now I never see her. That's because you stopped answering her texts. Well, I was going to text her today. Because, it's been a year. You were? Of course. I know how hard it must be. Do you? The new girlfriend, the best friend, the tension. You could cut it with a knife. Hey, Jazz was my friend too. Sure, she wasn't my twin sister, but I miss her. You didn't even know her. Guys, please. Eric, what do the numbers mean? Well, that's easy. They're coordinates. Eric types the numbers into Google, but nothing comes up. He looks closer at the number sequences. I wonder... He looks up at Taz. This memory where you got these numbers, did it have anything to do with Jazz? Yeah? Eric types the numbers into Google again, but this time in the opposite order. A location pops up on the screen. How did you know? Your secret language. They're coordinates, but written backwards, opposite. Where do they lead? Looks like they're from some building in Menlo Park. That's only 10 minutes from here. Eric, can you drive us? Taz, seriously? I can drive. No, it's cool. I got this, Skory. You can go back to bed. Guys, they have got to get along if they both want to be in Taz's life, okay? There's room for both of them. No way. Look, I want both of you there with me, okay? Jazz is trying to tell me something. I need to find out what it is. To do that, I need both of you, my best friend, my girlfriend. I need you to support me, and I need you to get along. Can you do that? Skory and Eric look at each other, then back to Taz. Yeah, I'll try, Taz. For you. 15 minutes later. Wait, so where is she sending them? Is she going to be there? Is she going to communicate with them? What? I am just so confused on what is going to happen. As they pull up to the location, Eric's eyes widen. Oh my gosh. What's wrong? Isn't it just some sort of office building? No, I've been here before. With Jazz. What? The semester before she died, Jazz asked me for a ride a few times. Out here. I just dropped her off. One time I waited in the parking lot until she was done. Did she say what she was doing? I think it was some sort of doctor's appointment. She seemed depressed. I figured it was a therapy session, so I didn't want to pry. Why didn't she ask me to take her? I don't think it was personal, Taz. You were just busy with school. But maybe... What? Maybe I should have asked her what was going on. She might have talked to me. If she had, she might still be alive. Eric, you can't blame yourself. You're the one who always reminds me that Jazz died in an accident. An accident. It was planned. Someone killed her. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't anyone's fault. But there is something Jazz is trying to tell us tonight. Now is our chance to listen. Eric nods. You're right. Eric parks the car together. Taz, Skory, and Eric walk up to the building. Jazz peers through a window into the dimly lit lobby. It's in the middle of the night, Taz. The building is locked. There must be a way in. I think it's called breaking and entering, which is pretty illegal. Eric, Taz's life is on the line. Are you really worried about getting in trouble? Yes. Well, I'm not. Skory picks up a large stone from the path leading to the building and hurls it through the window. Oh my gosh, what the heck? An alarm begins to blare. Are you crazy? Come on, we need to get in before security comes. Skory heads into the building, sweeping aside the broken glass. I feel like there was an easier way to do that, Skory. Taz follows quickly behind, grabbing Eric's hand and pulling him along. Eric accesses the security panel and shuts off the security alarm. Taz finds a directory. There's a list of doctors here. Eric, do you know who Jazz was coming to see? No, like I said, I didn't want to ask. Taz runs a finger down dozens of names, and then stops. Her eyes fill with fear. Look at this. Floor 3, Dr. Lionel Rex. No way. What would your sister want with Dr. Rex? Whatever it is, she clearly wanted me to come here and find out, because Dr. X was the one who was literally trying to kidnap Taz and use her for evil. Let's go. Moments later, Taz, Skory, and Eric arrive on the 3rd floor. Elevator doors swing open, revealing a laboratory. Everything is covered in white sheets. Skory pulls off sheets after sheets, revealing state-of-the-art equipment, just like the devices in the PSI lab. In the middle of the room sits a large machine. What is this? Some kind of machine. Duh. Skory hurls a look at Eric. He sheepishly looks away. Why would Jazz come here? She didn't have the touch. What could Rex have wanted with her? Taz opens Snapchat, and the flashback filter reappears on the screen. Taz taps her phone, and Taz and Skory watch as a memory door forms in the room in front of them. What's going on? You can't see the door? No. I bet only those with the touch can see it. We're probably the only ones who can even enter it. I'm sorry, Eric, but you'll have to stay behind. No way! You don't have a choice. Skory grabs Taz's hand. You ready for this? I think so. I have to be. Taz looks back at Eric. We'll be right back, I promise. And together, Skory and Taz step through the door. The room blurs. When Taz opens her eyes, she finds the same lab, the same equipment. But strapped to the strange machines is Jazz. Wait, what is going on? Wait, I'm so confused. I'm so excited. A grown version of the little girl from before. But now she looks totally different than Taz. Pink hair, piercings, tattoos, and she also looks scared. Because hunched over the machine, pressing buttons, is Dr. Rex. You're sure this will protect my sister and help hide her identity, her powers? You have my word, Miss Singh. Just relax. The machine will be ready in just a moment. Okay, but these sessions, I always feel weak afterwards, drained. That's quite normal. Nothing to worry about. I guess I just wish I understood how this all worked. Haven't I given you answers? You helped me understand my memories. Why Taz was always being watched. How I amplify her powers when we're near each other. But you haven't explained anything about this procedure. What is it doing? I told you. We are using your influences over your sister's powers to help mask them. This will keep her powers a secret and help her stay safe. As Rex continues to explain, Jazz turns her head to look at Taz. She stares right into the eyes and says, "He's lying." She turns right back to Rex. Wait, so can she see her now? How is she like doing this? Like, how is she seeing her in these memories? Taz doesn't remember those memories from your childhood. She has forgotten about her powers. It must remain that way for her own safety. Don't you agree? Jazz hesitates for a moment, then nods. So why would she remember them if she doesn't? Excellent. The machine is ready. Are you? Yes. Rex flips the lever, and Jazz instantly droops. Jazz! Taz runs towards her sister. Please wake up, Jazz! Jazz's eyes flutter as she tries to focus on Taz. Taz, I need to tell you something. Tell me what? The light in the room begins to flicker, and the memory door begins to fade. No! What is it? Skory grabs Taz's hand. I think we need to get out of here. Now! Before Skory can lead Taz out of the memory, Jazz grabs her shoulder. Stop where they aren't silent, but I can see you. What? Skory yanks Taz towards the memory door. Just as Skory steps over the threshold, Taz loses her grips on Skory's fingers. She looks back at Jazz as the memory fades, and Jazz looks up at Taz one last time like a ghost. And then she's gone. Taz stumbles through the door after Skory, back into the present. Her vision blurs, and when it clears, she sees him. Rex. How did he know? Oh, because they literally blew open the door with a rock, or like they crushed everything and had the alarms going off. In real life, standing over her, Taz squirms trying to pull herself to her feet, but then she realizes she's been strapped to a table. So like, does she stay? Like, does her conscious body or like her physical body stay in the room, and then like she goes in like her mind through the door? I am so confused. And Rex is hooking himself up to the machine. The same machine he was just using on his sister in the memory. Hello, Miss Singh. Where's Eric? Where's Skory? Your friends? I didn't see them. They must have left you. How did you know I would be here? Did you think I wouldn't notice a spike in dark matter? Of course, it all leads back to you. And you led me here. To my own facility. What did you do to my sister? I assure you, your sister was a willing volunteer. She sought me out. She knew about your powers. Somehow, the memories from your childhood came back to her. But instead of telling you, she looked for answers herself. Dr. Montgomery was already missing at that point, so Jaslyn had nowhere else to turn. She was afraid that your power would put you in danger, so I offered her a solution. Rex taps on his machine with pride. What were you doing to my sister? This brilliant machine, which I built, sucks the power of the touch from one individual into another. Wait, so she was trying to transfer my touch into her? So that way, like, she could, like, have it for me? Or what? I tried to channel your powers into your sister to see if it could be done. But it didn't work. I still had my powers, and Jazz never had the touch. True. That is because of a slight oversight in my initial experiment. You see, in order for the machine to work, it requires the physical presence of the power source. Rex walks over to Taz and places 2 electrodes on her temple, one on each side. I summarized as much towards the end of my experiments with your sister. It was clear she wasn't gaining the powers. Instead, she seemed to simply be growing weaker. But alas, I was unable to convince her to bring you to me. And then her unfortunate accident occurred. However, I have upgraded my machine and now my power source. Rex pats Taz on the arm and she flinches. So is he gonna try to transfer the touch out of me into him? And this time, I'll be transferring your powers to a more deserving host. Rex takes another end of Taz's electrodes and attaches them to his own temples. Me. Wait, I just realized, where are Skory and Eric? What did he do to them? Rex then walks over to the machine and pulls a lever. The device begins to whir. Taz screams in pain, feeling the power drain from her body. Meanwhile, Skory and Eric crouch together behind a closed door. What's happening? I don't know. Skory pulls a phone out of her pocket and opens Snapchat. Is that Taz's phone? She dropped it in the memory when she ran over to Jazz before we got separated. Yeah, you came out first. Rex was at the lab door. I could hear his keys in the lock. I grabbed the first hand I saw. I know, and I thought Taz was right behind me, but I lost her grip. Anyway, Thanks. For what? For grabbing me, pulling me into this closet? Sure. He's like, I should have left you for Rex. I wish I'd grabbed Taz. Not instead of you, No, I know, me too. Suddenly, a scream erupts from the other side of the closet door. Is that Taz? Why is she screaming? Like, what was their plan? Like, they're just gonna hide in there? Like, they didn't think that Rex was gonna come in and that Taz was gonna come out of the memory door? I don't know. Skory looks down at Taz's phone. On the screen, Taz's dark meter appears. Skory holds the phone up to a small peephole in the closet door and quickly snaps a picture. She shows it to Eric. Look at all the dark matter surrounding Taz. It seems to be sapping something out of her. The touch. And transferring it to Rex. Taz looks so weak. It's like he's sucking the life out of her. We have to stop that machine. I think I have a plan. If you'll hear me out, how do I know you're not still working with Rex? How could you even think that? Maybe because just a few weeks ago, you helped him capture Taz. He was blackmailing me. So what? Skory takes a deep breath. Eric, it might be too soon to say this, but I love Taz. My heart. I don't want to see her hurt. I hate myself for betraying her for that first time. Trust me, I do. But I can't change that now. All I can do is try to show her every day how much she means to me. I forgot when they first were trapped that Skory had lured her in. And I know this hasn't been easy for you seeing Taz with someone else. But I think I make Taz happy. So you can hate me forever, but just know that I will never ever hurt that girl again. Eric looks at Taz through the peephole inside. He looks back at Skory, a steely look in his eyes. What's your plan? Moments later. Tears streak down Taz's face as she struggles against the invisible force of the machine. No! This is so sad! Don't take her powers! Rex sits beside her in a trance. Taz can hardly stand the pain any longer. But then she spots Skory and Eric sneaking out of a closet back into the lab. Skory places a finger to his lips, urging Taz to stay quiet. She crawls up to Taz and crouches behind the table. She grabs Taz's hand and she whispers, "It's okay, I'm here now." How are they gonna get out? And I just want to know, where is it? Is Jazz really dead? Or, is she, in some weird, in-between universe thing? And that's why she's able to communicate with Taz when she goes through, the memory things? I have so many questions. Focus on me as the camera goes out of focus. Remember how we overpowered the quantum entanglement machine with our connection? You need to do that again. Magnify your powers. But Sam warned me that if I let my powers surge, you're connected to a machine that's transferring your powers to Rex. So Eric and I think the full surge will hurt Rex, and not you. Taz nods, her teeth gritted against the pain. How am I supposed to tap into that power? You're not connected to me anymore, and Jazz isn't here to magnify my powers either. I'm alone. You're not alone, Taz. And I know it's hard to imagine thinking about anything good or happy right now, especially tonight. But you can do it. You have to try. Taz shakes her head slowly, more tears streaming down her cheeks. Skory squeezes her hands tighter. Earlier said that Jazz would like me, because I make you happy. I wish I'd met her, Taz. But if tonight has proven anything to me, it's that she's still here. She's with you. She sees you. And I think she would be so proud of you. Proud of everything you've done. Proud of your powers. But most of all, she'd be proud of you for being who you are. Skory looks at Eric and smiles. And for always prioritizing the people you love. Through her tears, Taz locks eyes with Skory. She looks at Eric, who nods at her. Taz nods back. Then she closes her eyes. A shock jolts Skory's hands, forcing her to drop her grip on Taz. She quickly opens Snapchat on Taz's phone and watches the dark meter surrounding Taz surge. But instead of it enveloping Taz and destroying her, it seems to move towards Rex. So they can destroy him with the dark matter power? And surrounds him in a thick cloud. His eyes widen, the surge shocking him out of the trance. What's happening? He looks over at Taz. What are you doing? A slight glow begins to emanate from Taz's skin. Skory watches the dark matter form a deep jet black cloud around Rex's heart. It seeps into his body. overpowering from him within. His body begins to turn translucent. Skory looks to Taz, then to Eric, who is standing over Rex, a hand on a lever of the machine. Skory and Eric lock eyes. Stop! Stop! If you pull that lever, all her power will surge into me at once! That's kind of the point, Rex. That's the idea. Eric! Eric whirls to look at Skory and Taz, whose body has lifted slightly from the table, floating. Eric, do it! Now! Eric yanks the lever. Taz backs arches as the dark matter she's been harnessing charges into Rex. Horror passes over Rex's face for just a moment. So is she still gonna have any of her powers left, or is it all going to be gone after this? And then suddenly, he vanishes. Rex's body is gone, leaving nothing but dark matter in his place. Eric pulls both levers on the machine, shutting it down, and releasing Taz from the connection, restoring her powers. Okay, good. I was like, not that she needs her powers, but I feel like she's kind of attached to them now. They kind of make her who she is. Taz slumps back onto the table. Skory frees her from the restraints. Taz's eyes are closed. Skory gently strokes Taz's cheeks, her hands shaking. Taz? Eric runs over and puts a hesitant single finger on Taz's arm. Taz? Taz's eyes flutter open. I was like, if this ends with Taz dying, I will not be happy. And she looks up at the two most important people in her life. Did it work? I think so. We used what he wanted most to destroy him. He's gone, Taz. He's been turned into dark matter. You did it! No, I was frozen with pain. You guys did it. It was your surge, your power that did it. We just helped. Well, it was all Skory's idea. Okay, we get it. We all had a hand in defeating Rex. And I have to admit, it was a really good one. So the surge, is it over? Skory holds up the dark matter meter to Taz and snaps a picture. Look, there's still a lot of dark matter around you. I think there's more you have to resolve to stop the surge from happening again. In that last memory, Jazz spoke to me, not through blocks this time. She spoke actual words. What did she say? Stop where they aren't silent, but I can see you. What does that mean? It doesn't make much sense, but it sounds like our secret language. Oh, so go where they're loud, but I can't see you? Exactly. So every word means its opposite. Stop means go. Eric starts typing on his phone. And they means we. What about where? No opposite. Skory looks at Taz, confused. We only convert words that have a clear opposite. The word where doesn't have an opposite. Oh, I see. Taz continues. Aren't means are. Silent means speaking? Eric nods. I can means you can't. See means here. Skory's like, I want to get on it. And you means me. Taz and Skory both look at Eric. What did we get? Go where we are speaking, but you can't hear me. I still don't get it. Skory looks at Taz excitedly. Do you think she means? Taz nods. My nightmare. Right, so they can talk to each other in their dreams? Right, your reoccurrent dream, where Jazz says something right before the car crash, but I can't hear. I think we need to go back to where Jazz died. A few hours later. Is she gonna be there? If she is there, I will lose my mind. Are you ready, Taz? I think I'm as ready as I'll ever be. We're right here if you need us. Both of us. Thanks, guys. Do you want me to come with you into the memory? Taz smiles at Skory, but she shakes her head. I think I need to do this alone. Skory gives Taz a hand squeeze as Taz steps out of Eric's car and into the intersection. The streets are empty in the early morning light. Dew coats the pavement. It's almost tranquil. Taz glances over the side of the road where the makeshift memorial to Jazz has been set up. Flowers, candles, a faded picture of Jazz hugging Taz flaps in the wind. Taz pulls out her phone. Open Snapchat. I'm so into this. I'm like, forget you guys watching this. I just need to know what's gonna happen. And taps on the flashback filter. The memory Joyce appears in the middle of the interaction. Taz takes a deep breath and steps through. Okay, right here, comment down below if you think that Taz is going to actually see Jazz and like get her to come back with her, or if they're just gonna like what more could she have to say to her? Like, I'm just gonna, like, does she want a final goodbye? Does she have more missing information of like why she was like trying to like cover? I mean, obviously she wanted to cover the touch, or like wanted to take the touch away from Taz. Clearly, Jazz wanted to protect Taz, which is why she was willing to like take the power out of her. But like, what does she have to say now? The memory fades. Dawn turns to nighttime, and Taz finds herself in the passenger seat of a car next to her sister. Jazz, watch out! Jazz slams on the brakes. The car comes to a screeching halt at the red light. Jazz and Taz exhale at the same time. Sorry, I got distracted. You were never distracted like this. What's wrong, Jazz? It's like the memory at the beginning. Look, there's something I need to tell you. Taz leans over and whispers something to Jazz's ear, but Taz can't hear. The light turns green and Jazz starts driving, so she needs to like stop the accident from happening. And then a truck flies into the intersection and crashes into the car. The car flips over. The windshield shatters. Taz's head slams against the dashboard. I guess she can't change it because it's like a memory. And when she opens her eyes, she finds Jazz bleeding, losing consciousness. Jazz, wake up! Stay with me! Taz, listen carefully. Jazz leans over in her seat. She starts to whisper something in Taz's ear. And this time, Taz can hear her. What is she gonna say? It's my soul, Taz. When Rex used that machine on me to steal your powers, it ripped me apart. And now there's something wrong with my soul. I don't understand. What does that mean? I'm not going to make it tonight. I'm too weak. Taz starts to cry. Her sister's dying all over again. You'll survive this accident, and you'll feel guilty about it. But don't, because it's not your fault. And I know you'll find a way to make this right. You're the only one who can fix my soul. How, Jazz? How do I fix your soul? How can I bring you back? Taz pulls on her sister's arm, but Jazz's body's limp. She's already gone. No, please wake up, Jazz! I can't lose you again! Wake up! The scene begins to fade. Taz's vision blurs. She pries herself out of the car, tumbles onto the asphalt, and crawls towards the memory door. Darkness begins to encroach on either side of Taz's periphery. She pulls herself blindly through the memory door, and sunlight streaks into her vision as she returns to present day. Taz, wake up! Opening her eyes, she finds herself in Corey's arms. She's lying on the side of the road next to Jazz's memorial. Eric is crouched on the ground beside them. He places a hand on her arm. Taz, you're back. It's okay. Taz jolts upright. She wraps her arms around them, both Corey and Eric, and she squeezes them tight. Did you see her? Taz nods. It was so real. What happened? Can you talk about it? Taz nods. She swallows. Jazz told me it was Rex. What? No, that machine. Taz steadies herself. It did something awful to her soul. It made her weak. And if it hadn't been for Rex, what he did to her, she would have survived. Oh, Taz. Eric's eyes fill with tears. No, don't you get it? Taz smiles through her tears. You were right all along. All this time you told me not to feel guilty about Jazz's death. And now I know Jazz doesn't want me to feel guilty either. She wants me to save her. Corey envelopes Taz in another hug. We'll help you, whatever you need. We'll be right here. Taz smiles at her girlfriend and then at Eric. I know you will. Corey takes Taz's phone and opens Snapchat, pulling up the dark matter meter. She snaps a picture of Taz. Look! The surge is gone! You're safe now. Taz slings one arm around Corey, pulls Eric in with another, and looks at each of their faces, both full of love and support. Of course I am. I'm with you. Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Wait! So that's it? Oh my gosh! Okay, so we had a couple of things cleared up for sure. So Jazz did actually die by accident. She wasn't murdered as we thought. Well, she was basically murdered because Rex made her all weak, but it wasn't in the way, like, at the beginning, it made it seem like that, like, someone, like, took her out of the picture because she was, like, causing trouble or something. But now she knows that she died and that she just wants Taz to know that it's not her fault, and now Taz knows that, and Rex is out of the picture, but, like, what are they gonna do about her soul? Are there going to be more? I have no idea. So Oh my goodness, you guys. This is the longest video I've ever posted on this channel, I'm pretty sure. For texting. I've done some pretty long other ones, but for texting, this is the longest one. So let me know, should I do other long text message stories like this, or were you like, this was way too long? Let me know, because I'm just experimenting with things. So if you guys like these kind of like movie, TV show length episodes, I might do more in the future. I don't know. We'll see. Until next time, make sure you subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up. And if you are still wanting more scary text message stories, check out the episodes I have for you on screen, and I'll see you guys later with another scary text message story. Bye!